One thing that can be quite boring in most games are their credits, as they usually just pay homage to the hardworking developers who put their blood, sweat, and tears to deliver what you enjoy. After going through each one that appears at the end of the Mustachio Man's entries, I came up with today's video about secrets that can be found in the credits of each and every Mario game, going through what appears and any cool features that also pop up. Oh yeah, and before I get started, my name is Copycat, and if you haven't yet, then please subscribe to my channel, hitting that bell to stay notified when I upload new videos. The very first entry to be released in the series is Super Mario Bros. For the NES, where there isn't any credits in it, as I'm guessing the game was too rudimentary to include them at the time. Instead, you see a thank you message, and the opportunity to play again through a much harder world, although the levels themselves remain the same. This does change a few key gameplay features, like turning Goombas into Buzzy Beetles, making a few enemies move faster, and shortening many lifts that Mario stands on, causing things to be slightly more difficult. Next up is the Western version of Super Mario Bros. 2, that was released for the NES in 1988, containing two specific end credit secrets I want to mention, starting with a few funny developer mistakes during the showcase of enemies. Most of these have to do with the characters' names, including Ostros and Birdos being swapped, the Hoopster's name being misspelled to Hoopstar, the Claw Grip is being spelled Claw Glip, and the Triclide is spelled with an I instead of a Y. How such oversight happened, I have no idea, as these definitely should have been easily fixed, but somehow weren't. The other standout moment from the credits is when Sleeping Mario appears on screen, revealing to the audience that everything that took place in this game has all been a dream, explaining why this world you play through feels and seems so drastically unfamiliar. In real life, this is due to the fact that the Western version of Super Mario Bros. 2 is actually a reskin of a Japanese platformer called Yumi Kojo Doki Doki Panic. Being the case as that game was made in the Mario style anyways, and Nintendo felt like the Japanese version was just too difficult and too similar compared to the original. However, in the reskin, they took out the beginning that explained to the player that this is an alternate world, which is why if you don't read the manual, the ending comes as a bit of a shock. The final of the original trilogy is Super Mario Bros. 3 that came out for the NES in 1990, where during the credits a cute slideshow appears in the background, displaying our hero's journey through the different worlds, where if you pay attention, you'll see some interesting things. In the grasslands of World 1, Mario can be seen stomping on a group of Goombas. In the desert of World 2, you'll see a small Mario fighting a fire and Boomerang Bros. In World 3's Waterland, you can see a frog suit Mario entering a pipe. In the giant land of World 4, you'll see a boss bass trying to eat Mario. In the sky world of World 5, you'll see a Koopa randomly worshipping a Tanuki statue, with Tanuki Mario flying away. In World 6's Iceland, you see Mario kicking a Bob-omb at a few enemies that are covering in fear. In the Pipeland mazes of World 7, there's a scene where a fiery piranha plant is spitting at a Buster Beetle. And finally, in the Dark Land of Bowser's Kingdom, it's a face-off between the King Koopa and our hero. After all this, the curtains drop, and you're greeted with the message saying, "The End." A fun way to cap off this amazing title. Before we move on, I quickly want to look at the Super Mario Bros. Lost Levels entry, which is the true Japanese sequel to the original, only coming out in North America in the Super Mario All-Stars SNES collection. Either way, a few cool things can be seen once you complete the game. First, 100,000 points are added to your score, I guess as a bonus for beating King Koopa, but honestly it feels like a very arbitrary thing. Second is that the 7 toads you save from the different castles appear at the end to congratulate you, celebrating your victory by circling around the heroes. This is only in the Famicom Super Mario Bros. 2 Japanese version entry, as in the SNES one, you just receive a kiss from the princess for your good deeds. The first handheld game to come out is Super Mario Land for the Game Boy, where the credits display a very strange cutscene in which Mario rescues Daisy in a peculiar way. After defeating the final boss, which is the alien Tatanga, you scoop up the princess and place her in your spaceship, which is a bit random as you just play through an entire level in a World War II style plane. On top of that, you don't even go into space in this vehicle, so that is a little disappointing. Next up is Super Mario World that came out for the SNES, having a few great secrets you can spot during the credits, starting with what's happening with our main characters in the background. Here you'll see Mario, Peach, and Yoshi return to Yoshi's Island with the different eggs that have been rescued from the clutches of the Koopalings, traveling through each area of the game on your way. Once you get where the Yoshi's home base is, the eggs will hatch and everyone celebrates the achievement, with the words, "Thank you" appearing on screen. The next thing eagle-eyed fans will notice is some of the strange occurrences during the enemy showcase, mostly mistakes or complete changes from the regular gameplay. Many of the Koopas are entirely the wrong color. Ludwig von Koopa is for some reason adorned with extremely ugly teeth, and the charging chucks appear in a very strange shade of blue, almost as if this was all concept art, and things change by the end product. Finally, I just want to mention the drawing of Mario, Peach, and Luigi that shows up on screen at the very end, notable as it's in a very different style than what we're used to seeing from our hero. The second handheld game to come out was Super Mario Land 2 for the Game Boy, which has an extremely short credit sequence that shows a few things from this world. This just includes enemies, power-ups, and Mario and Wario themselves. Nothing crazy at all, just a few cool touches. Oh yeah, and I also love how the W on the castle changes back into an M, showing that Mario once again is in control of his realm. The first entry with 3D-based gameplay is Super Mario 64 for the N64, with another simple credit scene where a mustachioed man is showcased within the incredible courses. This is in a very cinematic way that recaps some of the best moments from your adventure. A nice touch as cinematics like this were pretty revolutionary at the time of its release. At the very end we see Mario, Peach, and the Toads waving goodbye as the Lakitus holding the cameras fly off in the distance, ending things off with a nice little photograph of the cake our heroes enjoyed, adorned with the figurines of Mario and the princess. I'm not sure if this is insinuating they got married, but weddings are usually the only place we see miniature versions of people upon cakes, so keep that in mind. What you see at the end of Super Mario Sunshine for the GameCube all depends on how many shine sprites you've collected, allowing you to look at one of two pictures. The first appears if you've gotten anywhere under the max 120 shines, where after the credits, you'll see a picture of Il Piantissimo discovering the magic paintbrush along with the words, "The End," displayed on the bottom corner of the screen. I'm not sure what this is supposed to insinuate, but remember this running character also shows up in the Zelda series, so maybe it uses this paintbrush to transcend universes. The other picture will only show up once you've gotten those max 120 shines. Here showing a group photo of all the friendly characters, including Mario and Peach, with the captions, "Have a relaxing vacation," just a cute little Easter egg for being a completionist. Nintendo will return the series to its 2D roots with the release of New Super Mario Bros. For the dual-screen system, containing secret sound effects in the credits that play different noises depending on which letter you tap on. All while photos of the different worlds appear on the top of the screen. You can use the system's bottom screen and stylus to make these sound effects happen. I can't go through each one individually as there's just too many, so here's a bit of a sample. Oh yeah, and there's no Q, which I guess must be an uncommon letter in Japanese. One unique thing about the ending of Super Mario Galaxy for the Wii is that it's one of the only times in the series where Mario actually says a full sentence, exclaiming,
"Thank you so much for playing my game!"
This is so interesting as Mario/Nintendo characters are usually mute or only want to say one of two words as their way of communication. Although, thinking about it, I guess that was all out of the window with the Mario movie.
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come!
The second game in the new Super Mario Bros. Sub-series came out for the Wii in 2009, which contains the first instance where you can move your character around during the credits. Not only that, but you can also break the bricks that make up the developers' names, which removes some of the letters from them. A hilarious feature that's also a bit of a troll to the people who've made the game. Also, there's a score counter, so I guess you could turn this into a challenge with your friends, or even people online to see who can get the highest. After this, there's a scene of Larry Koopa limping back towards Bowser's castle, being approached by Bowser Jr., revealing that all the Koopas are recovering in front of the castle. This then cuts to a scene where they're trying to enter the castle, but it collapses on them, thwarting any retaliation, at least just for a little bit. The second entry in the Super Mario Galaxy series came out for the Wii in 2007, having a credit screen that you can also move around in, and actually do something you're definitely not supposed to. If you equip yourself with a bee mushroom, you then can fly upwards immediately when the screen changes to the wintry setting, where eventually you'll reach some sort of wall, causing you to die during the credits. This is insane, and you can also do it with Yoshi's infinite flutter glitch, but either way, it's weird, it doesn't make any sense, and it sort of ruins your game. Also, there's a post-credits scene that pops up if you collected 120 stars, where Rosalina and a bunch of Lumas are seen in the observatory library, with her telling the story of the green stars, a type of collectible that unlocks once you achieve this feat. Nintendo would perfectly blend aspects of the 2D and 3D realms with Super Mario 3D Land for the 3DS, which has a very simple credit scene with Mario flying back from Bowser's castle to Peach's with the princess in hand. Along the way, Bowser makes one last-ditch attempt to attack our main characters, but fails as the Koopalings collapse under his sheer weight, allowing you to flutter back calmly to safety. The credits are very much the same in the new Super Mario Bros. 2 3DS entry, with Mario carrying the princess all the way back to her home in the Mushroom Kingdom. However, instead of fluttering back via Super Leaf power-up, you actually just walk on the ground, getting the opportunity to actually control Mario as you collect the coins that are thrown on the stage. What's funny is that at one point you can actually see Bowser and the Koopalings trying to re-kidnap the princess via their clown car, but again, the weight is too much and things go haywire. The King Koopa ends up crashing and becomes stuck upside down in the dirt, just like those turtles that get flipped and can't get right side again. The final of the new Super Mario Bros. Sub-series came out for the Wii U in 2012, where in the credits you can move around freely, collecting coins, trying to get a high score. Nothing too out of place with this one, but a funny note is that anytime you interact with the developers' names, they spin on screen, which is a nice touch, and not one that destroys their credit for their work. Super Mario 3D World is up next in this video, where at the very end, once Meowser's defeated, you travel back to Peach's castle through the Clear Pipe network. Along the way, you'll encounter a myriad of different characters, bad guys, and of course Bowser, who in this case is stuck in a small jar unable to escape. In the end, you exit at Peach's castle and marvel at the fireworks for a very enjoyable celebration. The second last game in this video is the absolutely massive Super Mario Odyssey for the Nintendo Switch, where during the credits, there's a sequence where you can see an amazing photo collection of what's occurred in the game's kingdoms. Really nothing insanely intricate here, and at the end of it all, you discover that the moon rocks have been removed, uncovering moon pipes, where you can access new sub-areas, while also unlocking the Mushroom Kingdom. The final title we're going to look at in this video is the Bowser's Fury game mode that came out alongside the re-release of Super Mario 3D World for the Switch, containing a unique credit montage through the lens of Bowser Jr. Here, the story of the game is recreated through his paintings, albeit from a bit of a biased perspective. I definitely like the one that shows off the battle between the two kaiju-sized characters, with the Kid Koopa looking terrified over what the outcome will be. At the very end, if you collected all 100 cat shines, then a very secret special drawing is displayed, thanking you for playing, while showing catified versions of Mario, Bowser, all while being surrounded by a litter of kittens. Alright, that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I really hope you did enjoy this one. If you did, please leave a like, comment below what you thought about it, subscribe to my channel, and go please follow my Instagram at CopyCatGamer. There I upload some cool clips and items from my collection that you won't see anywhere else. Hope you guys all have a good day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!